Hello, my name is Leora. I'm a part-time furniture flipper out of Windsor, Colorado. What started as a hobby in 2020 is now a full-blown obsession. I love taking old, unloved furniture and creating beautiful works of art. Come join me in my studio to see how I make diamonds from the rough.
Hello, welcome back to Diamonds from the Rough. I am your host, Leora, and if you have been here before, thanks for coming back. And if you've never seen this channel before, I hope you like what you see.
Sorry for the awkward segue. I had to cut out some other blathering I was doing. This is a beautiful Duncan Phyfe table that I found at the Habitat for Humanity Restore. It was in terrible shape, but it has a lot of good bones, and I think I could definitely make a good big difference with it.
So I got this apart, and I mean apart. I took off all the legs because all of them were loose in some way, shape, or fashion. That doesn't mean they came off easy. That means that I had to do a little prying. As you can see, those little ding marks from the screwdriver. But I really don't care. I'm going to do some sanding on this anyway. This kind of stain would come through almost anything I was going to paint if I don't block the tannins, if I don't block the stain from leaching, yada yada. I gotta sand it down, and then still gonna put on a bunch of primer that's got stain blocking in it. Backing up to the leg part, all the legs were kind of like lifting either front or back, and I didn't want any space in between the legs and the base. While they're off, I can get them really good and clean, sand them all off easily because they're just like this instead of all attached to a three-dimensional piece. These really disgusting brown feet, they're metal, but they are filthy. It's supposed to fit right over. This little cap is supposed to fit over this foot and then nail in. Only one of them had nails. The other one was just kind of stuck on here. I need to order the correct size feet now, since oopsie, I ordered the wrong size. But more importantly, it's going to cover up this so I don't have to fix that part. But I'm going to try and fix most of these little gouges and dings with a little bit of light, what's the word? Wood fill. Wood fill is the word. I think the drawer is good. When I took the top off of the pedestal, it ripped a little bit of veneer. When I tried to just lift it off after taking off the screws, it didn't work. I had to give it a little bit of a tug and it ripped the veneer. This is more work than I was really planning to do. I don't know if you just heard that, but it's flimsy. This is just like a sheet of veneer that they've wrapped around. You can see there's the bit of ply that is just still stuck on here. I can't get that off. I'm not even going to try though, because it'll fit perfectly when I put it back on. But you see how thin this is. I mean, we're talking less than a 1/4 inch, maybe 1/8 of an inch. It's so thin. But that being said, it's still like the main part of the side of this table. I can't just take it off. I don't want to replace it. How they had it on here before, the glue was dripping. You see that there's chunks of the veneer coming out. There's just so much to fix on this, and I don't know if I was just feeling like Superwoman that day, but yeah, this is more work than I normally would have brought onto myself. This is what really bothers me. Well, this whole thing should be like sliding way up there, but I can't seem to move it one way or the other. I can't hammer it in and I can't pull it out. I got some questions to solve here. This is some kind of weird, like papery topping. I was going to cover this entirely anyway. So I'll see you back here after that.
I decided to really go to town on the sanding of this. The finish was super failing. I used a 60 grit, which is super aggressive. On the curved portions here, I think the 60 grit would have actually made no more curves exist. So I am going to use a different tool. This is a set of curved and angled sanding blocks. I have different sizes, and I can get into grooves and I can get around curves. I do not like to hand sand, but this is necessary if I want to get all that flaking stuff off. This is my Titebond premium wood glue, and I put it into a little syringe. All you do is take out the plunger, pour in your glue, and then try not to spill it on your floor, which I already did. Pop this in. Hold, please. And we're back. to stabilize this right here. You see how thin this wood veneer is, and the backing is just coming right off. So I'm going to stick wood glue in the syringe right in between there, clamp this shut, and then that will help stabilize the round part of this table. Easy peasy. Just spread the wood apart a little bit, stick the syringe down in there, squeeze in the glue. I like to make sure it's clamped in multiple spots. It's hard to hold a camera and do this at the same time. I want a lot of glue, like a lot of glue. See this bar here? It's not very stable. And also right here, this was that edge that was like up above, and it was into this cross support. So I had to take this cross support off, and now I can press this down and then I can clamp it. It's level. It's better to do all the things at the beginning instead of try to fix it later. See that? I don't like how that looks. So I'm gonna put some paintable silicone all around that edge, but you have to look for the word paintable right on it, or you're gonna be disappointed when your paint also repels from that. You can use your bare finger. I'm gonna use a glove because I don't want caulk underneath my fingernails. You're gonna need one of these, which is the thing that pushes the stuff out of the tube. You're gonna need something to cut the tip off, and I like to keep it kind of small and only expand it if I absolutely have to. I'm gonna load this thing in here. You'll load it on there first, see? Otherwise you can't load it. So on the back and then push it through. Okay, I just learned something. It wasn't coming out, and I realized directions are on here and you can read those and it might tell you something. And I was wondering what that thing was. So I just spun it out and it says, pierce the inner foil seal, which I did not know was there. I used this to get down into that hole and pierce the seal. Oh yeah, that's so much better. I'm just going to put a little bead all the way around at an angle. It is as easy as that. With a little bit of water, I'm going to smooth it out, and then I just wipe that off on my paper towel. Okay guys, here's where things went wrong, meaning I got sucked into working on the project and forgot to actually record all the steps. So you saw I just ironed out some decoupage paper. I painted the background in a light color so my decoupage would show through, and then you're going to see the before and after photos here, and you can see what I did with it. This is all the before, just to kind of give you a reminder of what it looked like. And here's what it looked like after. I kept the same hardware and just cleaned it up really well, put on those feet, painted it a beautiful blue color, got my cats to model a few pictures with this. And once they're off of it, you can see the decoupage paper, and I put an epoxy coat over the top to make it a really nice and sturdy and easily cleanable side table. This is basically like it would have been brand new as much as you can for something that's 100+ years old. It's going to be sturdy and strong for the next owner. I'm sorry I forgot to film all the rest of those steps, but please, if you liked this and you want to see me do more steps and explain them, like and subscribe, and I would love to see you back here on my YouTube channel. Thanks. Bye.